They see another car that's fast, and they want to race.
On our way home, he just decided to go really fast.
The body's brought into our office, it's weighed, and then it's put into a cooler.
Doing about 115.
It's usually the next day when we do our work.
We went around the corner, lost control.
We're going to make an incision, and this is a standard incision from one shoulder to over the breastbone, from the other shoulder over the breastbone, and then down to the pubis.
He freaked out, slammed on his brakes, and the tires locked up.
So then we have to take cutters, and we're going to cut through the ribs on either side and take the front of the chest off.
Next thing I know, we were slammed up against a wall.
In order to get to the brain, we're going to have to make an incision through the scalp.
The car went up the hill, up the tree.
We make an incision from behind one ear, over the top of the head to behind the other ear.
Down, rolled, and hit the center divider, and then back into the slow lane.
And then we literally pull the scalp forward over the face and backward.
The car turned completely around.
We're going to make a bowl-shaped cut with a saw and take the top of the skull off.
We're facing the semi that we had just passed.
And we're going to take the brain out, and we're going to cut it like a bread loaf.
I was looking at him, hoping he's not going to hit us.
We see the skull is essentially removed from the spine.
As I grabbed the door handle in the Mustang and the seat, I said, God save me.
The heart can be totally torn away from its attachments and be just found laying in the chest.
He got tossed out of the car while we were rolling.
What we really see is that they get thrown in front of the car, then the car is rolling and it rolls over on top of them and crushes their head like an egg.
This appears to be victim's teeth.
He landed in the middle of the freeway.
So those kind of injuries are horrendous.
He wasn't impaired, we weren't drinking or anything. He was just gonna go fast.
When the bodies come in, we wash them.
The backhoe, the tractor will come in. It'll measure the size of the plot that it needs to take out.
We start by posing their features so that they look natural and lifelike.
The backhoe will remove the dirt down to about 6.5 feet.
We make an incision right in the neck.
A cement liner is placed into the grave itself.
We use a tube to put the formaldehyde in using this machine,
which the casket then will fit inside of, and a cement lid then will fit over the top of the liner.
As we do that, the blood flows out.
That casket starts to lower and go into the ground.
We dress them, cosmetize them, and place them in their caskets.
And then they put this sod over the top of it, and the marker goes on.
It takes about an hour to dig a grave.
A lot of people can't bury or afford to bury.
Do they want to have cremation or burial?
They figure the best way is to go cremation.
We place them in some type of cremation container, and they're taken to the crematory for cremation.
They're checked in, and we give them the okay to cremate.
It's just a plywood box that they're placed into. They're not dressed.
Push the deceased inside, close the door.
The retorts, I believe, are about 1,300 degrees.
And start the main burner.
It's pretty dramatic to see.
The emotional roller coaster that these families unfortunately have to go on is something extreme that most people will never have to feel.
She took out a part of us.
You remember the parents saying goodbye for the last time and just falling apart.
It was an honor knowing him.
That person's gone. They're gone out of your sight.
You know, we could have gotten married.
He was so cool.
But now we'll never know.
The real pain for any family doesn't start until after we leave them.
He was at the gas station working, smiling.
You never met anybody with this type of charisma.
The last thing I told him was, I love you, and I'll see you later.
He tells us, you know, as a family, not to be sad.
But later never came.
It's a definite eye-opener to see all these kids that are 17, you know, and younger being in the cemetery. They shouldn't be here. I mean, no one should be here, but being that young and being here, it's sad.
If you have friends in the car and you don't want to think about yourself, think about them, because you're ripping out someone out of their life and you're going to tear that family apart.
Other people are not expecting you to be there at that high rate of speed.
If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you have to think twice about it, don't do it.
This might be our job, but we never forget you.
Who makes the decision of who's going to be a drunk driver? A drunk? Well, that's what we mean by impaired.
Is it worth it to be late, you know, to get in trouble with your parents? No.
You have to basically relive the events that have led to their child dying.
What we normally do is we'll take a photograph of the person's face and show the parent the photograph and ask them to do identification by that means.
The divorce rate is extremely high amongst families that have lost a child.
This is the beginning of a difficult time that will never end.
They have to pick what they're going to place their child in forever.
It's the senselessness of it all. It's the kind of the loss of the future that they had.
The level of my love is the level of my sorrow.
This is the last place you want to be.
I hope that helps. Yeah.